evening, Edo State. You are welcome to the second edition of the BOWFT Obaseki Women's Football Tournament, taking place right here in Benin City. You are welcome all.
Of the BOWFT Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. And without much ado, with great pleasure and to the glory of God, with deep thanks, I hereby declare the tournament open.
I was built to be the best, #1 and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, though I believe. I know I can count on me, so stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions.
Well, the 2023 edition of the BOWFT Obaseki Women Football Tournament will be kick-starting on Monday. About the draws and also the press conference to usher us into the tournament starts today. Very big one for people in Edo State and also for Nigerian football, and not just the football, for also Nigerian women. And today, joining us on the show via call will be BOWFT Obaseki, the wife and also the First Lady of Edo State. Very big one and very interesting to have you join us this morning talking about the tournament and also the positive effect of what this tournament have on a lady, especially listening to the team of the tournament, ending gender-based violence in the country. Is a very big one and for us to expect. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
It's good to have you join us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, how is the feeling before the tournament? It's a big one this year's, and we'll be having a lot of big teams representing their different states and also the Nigerian Women Football League. What's the expectation for this year's event?
Well, the expectation is high. We're excited. We're gearing up and preparing for a bigger and a more impactful outcome. Yeah, it gets bigger and better every year. So this year is going to be bigger and better, most certainly.
Okay. The theme for this year's event, ending gender-based violence, what is the rationale behind that particular theme for this year's event?
Well, the tournament comes with, every year we have this tournament. We attempt to address the social vibe, the problem in our society that affects women and girls. The first year we had, the theme was the girl-child education. The second year, this is our third year. Second year was our fight against drug abuse, because we have a lot of that happening even in the sports arena. And then this year, the theme for our campaign this year is get towards ending gender-based violence. You know that it is a problem that's prevalent in our country. We realized that it heightened during the COVID year when everybody was locked down and victims were exposed to the perpetrators, and there were a few young girls who were raped and murdered in that particular year, which gave birth to the fight against gender-based violence by Nigerian governors' wives. So it came, it gave birth to the coalition against of Nigerian governors' wives against gender-based violence, and that campaign is still on. We are determined to keep fighting it until we see a huge reduction, and our goal is to bring, eradicate, totally bring the incidence of gender-based violence to 0 level across Nigeria. So we are still fighting this fight, and that's the reason why we're bringing it up again. and to keep pushing to ensure that our girls and our women and our children and every human being who resides in this country lives safely and in a dignified and pleasant manner.
Okay, we are seeing the third edition of the competition as one of the biggest in a very long while, because in comparison to the 2021 and also the 2022 edition, this one seemed to be one of the biggest. So far, so good. The level of preparedness towards the tournament, how can you rate it? It's just less than a few days away, and before we have the first ball kicked for the tournament, how far is the level of preparedness from your side and also from the team side?
We're very ready. As a matter of fact, today is we're having the draws today, and we already have the team reps in Benin. They came in yesterday for today's event. We also have all of the sports editors from across the country who are also here. So we're very ready for this year's tournament. We get better ready each year. Like I said, we get bigger and better every year, and so our preparedness heightens increasingly.
Okay, we are seeing a total prize money package for all winners for this particular competition pegged at around 60 million naira. Is there a quick shift from the previous edition in this particular one?
Oh, definitely. The prize money motivates the players. But I must say that even without the prize money increase, we try to increase up the stakes each year. These players, they see a lot more value in attending. And it's not really the prize money that attracts them. The fact that they have an opportunity to prepare and compete prior to the season is valid. And a lot of them also talk about how so as to identify good players that they would want to poach to take to their team. So this tournament affords them that opportunity. And so they come excited, not just for the prize money, although the prize money is an incentive, but also for the general opportunity of exposure and acquiring extra skills and capacity to prepare them for the season.
Okay.
Which comes up in November.
Okay. I'll still asking question about what we'll be expecting. Some big names will be featuring in this year's tournament. We all know that the Super Falcons captain Onome AB is part of the squad and part of the team that might be featuring in this year's event. She plays for Nigeria Retail, just joining in on a free transfer from a previous club. Do we expect more big names coming into this year's tournament?
Well, you have big names in a lot of the teams. You know that we've got top players in some of the teams like Bayelsa Queens, Rivers Queens, even Edo Queens, and FC Robo. FC Robo has they've won the best the best player nationally.
Yes,
it's from FC Robo, and they're all coming. As a matter of fact, this year we had requests from a large number of teams asking to join, because we have a limited space and a limited number of days for the tournament. If we reckon that if we admitted more people, we would have to extend the tournament for beyond 12 days, which is what we do. And so as we grow, hopefully we'll be able to admit more teams. But this year we witnessed an increase in the number of other teams who were seeking to be part of this tournament.
Okay, so on the long run, we'll be expecting more teams to join in. Probably next year's edition or future edition of the tournament will have a bigger schedule and a bigger...
Yes, indeed. And as a matter of fact, this year we actually admitted one extra team. We've done 12 teams the previous 2 years, but we admitted one extra team this year, and that's Ekiti Bay, because they just qualified, and we had a lot of pressure from the state for them to attend. So we have 13 teams as opposed to 12. So we're growing already. Hopefully next year we'll do perhaps 14 or 16.
Okay, I will be expecting 14 or 16. A very, very good one. But quickly joining Tolokpe Oguntimehin, probably is ready to ask this question. Maybe he's a little bit shy about his question, but we're expecting Tolokpe to quickly ask his question.
Okay, Your Excellency, my question has to do with the fact that I understand what you are trying to do to raise awareness on the scourge of deadly drugs being exposed to our youth. But why did you decide to use football as a tool to raise this awareness? Because we're looking at there are other sports, other area things you could have done. Why did you decide to use football?
I didn't decide to use football
Okay.
To create awareness. It's the other way around.
Okay.
The question should have been why football? Why am I delving into women's football? The reason I'm doing this is you must all recall that in Edo State, some years back, precisely 7 years ago, prior to when my husband became governor, the state was #1 worldwide, not just nationally. Had the biggest burden of human trafficking. And when we came on board, we found that 60% of the people trafficked from our state were women, were young girls.
Wow.
And so the governor embarked on a huge program to turn that around, to change the narrative and stop the human trafficking. How can I describe it? Huge problem.
Okay.
And so, as governor's wife, the only thing I thought about doing was to, as a way of my own support and doing something as a woman for girls, I noticed that alongside trying to stop this problem with human trafficking, the governor also embarked on a lot of reforms across the state. In every area and sector of the life of the state, the governor has attempted to do something to bring about a renaissance, one of which is sports. Edo State, which used to be Bendel State in those days when it was Delta and Edo together, was known nationally as a sports state, leading in sports in Nigeria for all time. But by the time he got on board, sport was dead in the state. The state was at the bottom. Bendel Insurance that was stopped in those days was nowhere to be found in the league. And so he was also trying to revive that sporting culture in the state. And then I had the idea that if I used sport to help in a way to stem this bad tide of exodus of our girls out of the country to all manner of exposure to all kinds of hazards, it would help a lot. And so I thought, I keep saying to people that for Edo, for people to be, it only takes strong and industrious people to be able to attempt to leave the comfort of their home, to attempt to go, on a wild goose chase, exposing themselves to all manner of deadly hazard, seeking a better life. And so one could channel that energy and industry and strength, into doing something more noble, more dignifying, and more rewarding. And so we thought, okay, these girls want to go abroad. That's what it is, and seek a better life, earn money, and be able to look after their families. And then we can create a pathway with sports for them to be able to do this. Encourage football, women's football in our state and in our country, and thereby opening opportunities for them to carve a career in football. And you know how women's football has now become, a worldwide pet activity. Most of the countries are encouraging football, female football. And so I thought, and we've already begun to see results in that area. We have 1 or 2 girls from our state team who already have gotten placed, have gotten contracts with foreign teams. So that's the reason why I embarked on this football tournament thing, as a way of exposing our girls and creating opportunities, career opportunities, and opportunities for them to go abroad. Get placed in teams abroad, play with foreign teams, and the dollars that they're looking for via trafficking, and build dignified careers for themselves. And then whilst doing that, as governor's wife, I was one of those in the forefront of fight against gender-based violence, and anything to do with empowering the girl child, the capacity of women to be able to compete properly with men on all fronts, I'm all for it. And so I decided to also now not just, open the girls to football, but also to make sure that as we do this, we also address the issues that would stand as impediments to young girls actualizing their dreams and their full potential, and keep addressing them alongside encourage grooming and developing strong and successful female footballers in our country.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us this morning about the Betsy Obaseki Women Football Tournament. And we also wish you well for the tournament itself, and believe that it will be one of the best yet again in the third edition of the tournament.
Thank you so very much.